What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my Dark Souls 3 100% walkthrough. And so today we are going to finally enter the DLC, and this is the first of 2 DLC areas that we're going to do. And for that, we're going to need to warp to the Cleansing Chapel bonfire. So if you remember when we were here before, there was an NPC that if you talk to him, he will warp you to the DLC area. And before we had avoided talking to him, now we're going to talk to him. And he will only appear if you either have the Fire Fades edition of the game or if you've purchased the Ashes of Ariandel DLC.
No place to call their own. Please bear witness to our resolve. Fire for Ariandel. Fire for Ariandel. And the ash to kindle flame.
So you notice he said fire for Ariandel and an ash to kindle the flame. We are ash.
Wait.
So we'll see more of what he means as we go through this area.
As that woman. Then you must be an action one. You must be. Oh, you don't know how long I've searched. Oh, don't mind me. Now, Ashen One, I have a kindness to ask of you. My lady lives in the cold land of Ariandel. I need you to show her flame. A proper flame that will burn the rot away. If you truly are ash, then it must be fire that you seek.
All right, if you accept.
Ah, thank you. They of ash never fail. Just a moment, then. The painting of Ariandel. Well, rotted scrap of it, that is. Go on. Take it. Touch it. And then the ashes were too.
All right, so a lot to unpack there. Said he's looking for a proper flame to burn away the rot. And of course, this is the painted world of Ariandel that we're about to enter. Those of you who know Dark Souls 1 probably remember the painted world of Ariamis. So as we go through here, there's definitely going to be some callbacks and parallels that we see between the painted worlds, just like there are callbacks and parallels between kind of the main world of Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1 and 2 that we've become accustomed to. So right behind here, we can pick up a Rime Blue Moss Clump, and there's another NPC here. This is not an enemy. We can talk to this NPC.
Have you just arrived? How very unusual. Just how long has it been? Rejoice, my new friend, for this is a true haven of the forlorn, the cold and gentle painted world of Ariandel. Quick, go along. Find one for yourself, a sweetly rotting bed to lie up. Ah, yawn, but you're safe now. Let it ease your burden. Ariandel will make a fine home for you. So, go on ahead. A sweet...
Okay. So this area is very snowy and wintry, so it is good that we have a sword that does fire damage. It's going to help us out a lot, so I'm going to hang on to this sword for now. Only the mighty may proceed. So there is a reason why we're doing the DLC last. In typical From Software fashion, these DLC areas are quite a bit harder than the base game, I would say. All right, so for starters, we're going to kind of hug this wall on the left here. You see this tree. Some of these trees will come alive. This one does not. But there are several that we'll come across later that do come alive. Over here, we have ourselves a soul item and our first enemy who's throwing a javelin at us. We will encounter several of these guys through the DLC. Got some more. And these are Farron followers. So that one has a torch. They can actually blow fire from the torch as a projectile. It's pretty devastating, actually. Can do a lot of damage if you're not careful. Got some bugs. And you know, they mentioned the rot. So look around. You see that there is some gross looking stuff growing up around here. And we'll see more about that as we go. We got the poison gem. And so the NPC that we talked to get into the painting mentioned that he wants to burn away the rot. So we'll learn a bit more about that dynamic as we get further into this area here. All right, so we got a bunch of the follower enemies around here. I'm going to go on and take them all out. So you got this one with the shield. You got other ones that have the javelins, other ones with the torches that blow the fire. So he's blowing the fire. There's the fire blowing animation, but that, if you can get behind them, pretty easy to beat them. But if you're in front of them while they're blowing the fire, it can be relatively dangerous. So you see we have an item up here. And this snow right in front of us is about to collapse. So if you haven't picked up the items that we just picked up already, once you fall through here, you can't get back up unless you warp. Actually, that's not true. We are going to get back up here, but you have to take a separate path to get up there. Just know that the snow is going to break and you're going to fall down. And then now we can pick up this item here. And right ahead of us, there's an item next to the tree. It's kind of a trap. You can see these wolves next to the item. These wolves will howl, and when they howl, they're going to call all the other ones around to this item, and you're going to be surrounded. And these wolves behave, they're kind of like smarter versions of the dogs that we have in the base game. They can be a bit tricky, especially because the thing is they can, if there's enough of them, they can circle around you and all gang up on you. And it's very, can get you in some bad situations. All right, we've got a few of them. There's more around here. There's one back there. We'll go on and take the item now that we got kind of the first few taken care of already. So get the rusted coin. And now we're going to hug this wall. That's where we fell through. We're going to hug this wall to the right. And that's actually going to take us to the ramp where we'll get some items up there. But then also if you want to drop back down to that first area before we fell down the snow, you can. There's one that's howling. So now that he's howled, some of the other smaller ones might come around us. I'm going to wait a sec before progressing. See if they come over here. Yep, yep, there they come. And so can get you into a sketchy situation. See how they all gathered around that tree where the item is? Gotta be careful here. Nope, dodge me. Now there's a whole pack of them coming over. Oh, I'm almost dead. A couple more over there. Okay. Looks like just the one more. All right, so now we're going to head up this ramp. And these are going to be the first hostile trees that we see. There's going to be a bunch of them. You see the fire kind of stuns them a little bit, makes them scream. Now there's going to be some that like shoot little embers at you. There's going to be others that blow frost at you. We're going to encounter several of these trees as we go. They're all over the place and they all screech. You see the enemies up there are all kind of hunched over. They're all going to want to fight us. And there's a tree that we missed behind us. So this, or maybe I just didn't get the entire health bar down. Very easy to walk into an ambush here. Okay, he's coming down. He's a torch blower. So here we get the large soul. And those both are javelin throwers. And up here, you get the follower javelin. That's the one that they're throwing at us. We can drop back down. This takes us back. The first area. This is where the snow broke. And we're back. I'm gonna top off my health. Because now this is where we went up the ramp. Now we're just gonna follow this cliff side over here. And there's gonna be a big wolf. See that one up there? That's gonna drop down on us. We're gonna have to fight it. You definitely want all those other wolves cleared out before you fight this one. This one is very powerful. But while it drops down, I'm going to go ahead and take this one out if I can. Ah, crap. It's not what I wanted to happen at all. So this big wolf is actually part of a boss fight that we're going to see later. And if you fight it now, it'll actually start the boss fight with part of its health bar depleted. And it's gonna, you can't get its health bar all the way down. It'll kind of run away after you deplete a certain amount of its health. And we are going to encounter it one more time. So let's see, we got that item already. And over here by the tree, got another item. And so over here, there's going to be these large enemies called Milwood Knights. We're actually going to run by them for now because up on that tower, there's going to be archers that are sniping us with their great bows. We're going to take care of the enemies in the tower first, and then we're going to come back and get all the stuff out here. Because those great arrows that they're shooting, even if they don't hit you, they explode. You see how that one exploded into an AoE? And those can be highly, highly annoying. So we're going to go up that tower first. Before we go up the tower, we're going to go behind it for a blessed gem. Be one of those. Looks like it's trying to follow us. The Milwood Knights are very dangerous. I mean, they hit extremely hard. We got one right here. So when we go up this tower, we're actually going to fight the ones that are trying to shoot at us. Once we get rid of them, then we're going to be able to explore this area in peace without getting shot at with their exploding arrows. Now these guys hit extremely hard. You see that I'm taking quite a bit of damage from him. They can hit you with their shield as well. Got a heavy gem from that one. Down here we get a soul item. So we're going to climb this tower. And we're going to take out the enemies here. So here, the twinkling of a lizard. It's up there. We can't get to it quite yet. We're actually going to drop down to it. Now what we want to do is climb the ladder. And there's the lizard. We're going to come back for it later. Got to climb this ladder all the way to the top first. Okay. And there is one of the archers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak up. I'm going to do my special move on him. My L2 R2 move. Knock him, do a charged heavy. Knock him over the edge. Or even noticed us. And that impact did kill him. That's one archer down. I'm going to go all the way up to the top. I'm going to top off my health. And that item, you can jump over to it. But also, you can drop down to it, which I would argue is a little bit easier. Up here, we got a large soul. And over here, actually have the captain's ashes we can turn in at the maiden. Alrighty. So that is good. As I mentioned, you can drop down to that item, which is what we're going to do. So just drop down here. And you can drop down right here. And we get the Milwood battle axe. Now we can just drop down to the stairs. And now we're going to descend to the tower using the stairs. If you mentioned, if you saw earlier, I mentioned that we passed by some stuff, including the crystal lizard. But now we can access it since we can get to the stairway. Because to go up, you have to climb that ladder. To go down, you can take the stairs. We have the ethereal oak shield. That's the shield that they're using. And now we're going to kill this crystal lizard. There we go. And for that, we get some twinkling titanite. And that really is it for the tower. We've cleared it out. We've neutralized the threat in the tower. So now all that's left are the threats on the ground that we can face in peace without having to worry about being shot. But you see there's several of these Milwood knights around. Some of them have the giant mace. They can hit the ground with it, and when they pull it back up, it's going to cause a huge AoE. And they are, each and every single one of them is a threat by its own. Let's start with a charged heavy. See, they can do significant chunks of your health bar. I'm waiting for him to do a slam, so you can get behind him when they do their slam. You see how he pulled it up and did that big AoE? If you're caught in that, it's not going to go well for you. So you see that one walking over by his dog. I'm going to shoot the dog first. Get him to come over. I want to fight them both at the same time. Now he's mad at me. Whoop, he's going for the backstab there. And did not want to get caught in that. That probably would have killed me. And I had to heal instead of going for the backstab, unfortunately. Trying to get a backstab. There we go. Good charged heavy. And a follow-up. There we go. See that other one roaming around back there. Before we fight him. Pick up, this is a heavy gem, I believe. This guy walking around. He's one of the ones, looks like with the battle axe. Took a couple hits, but I poised through it. Gonna heal up. And that's his special move with his battle axe. You see, he powered up his battle axe. He got a significant amount of poise from that. All right, took him out. Got another heavy gem. Over here, kind of on the edge. Got another guy walking around with his dog. Oh, aggro the dog first. That's good. Okay. Another one with the battle axe. He charged up. Went for a backstab, but didn't get it. Back away and heal. Went for backstab, didn't get it. Ooh, yeah, when he does that move, you see he's got that extra poise. He doesn't stun when I hit him. All right. So over here on the ledge, this is going to be Homeward Bones. I think we pretty much cleared this area. But over here, there's going to be a couple more. We're going to pick up their great bow that they've been using. Does shoot the exploding great arrows. And around here, I think there are a couple more of the trees that do come alive. Yep. Take these out now so they don't become a threat later. And there's the items with 2 of the knights. Trying to shoot us with those arrows. And this tree is not a threatening one. See if I can shoot them and if they'll come over. Nope. I do want to shoot the wolf though. Get the wolf first. Oh, and there's a frost-blowing tree that I missed earlier. Go ahead and take this out. All right, I'm going to top off my health before going over to these Milwood Knights. This one first. Got a couple dogs near him. Okay, got the dogs. Unfortunately, this other one is trying to shoot me while I try to get this guy. Okay. Now he pulls out his giant club. And watch out for that giant AoE. There we go. Got him with a stab. Charged heavy. In here we get the Milwood great bow and some great arrows. All right, so if you drop down there, that's where we first fought the giant wolf. So now we're going to head around and we're going to have ourselves another encounter with the giant wolf. And this one is really tough because once it drops down, it brings some of the smaller ones with it. You notice that I'm over there. That's the one that we pushed off the edge. That item is probably out of reach. That's just the drop from the enemy. Yeah, it's out of reach for us. But that's just fine. Okay, so when we head up here, the big wolf is going to drop down. Let me see if I can snipe. Because those smaller ones do become a problem when you're trying to fight all of them at the same time. I don't think my arrows will reach. Unfortunately. That is sad. I'm trying just to get the edge on them. Because when you fight all of them at the same time, it is a problem. And I think they knew what they were doing. Like I can't aim any higher right now, which is sad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trigger the encounter, and then I'm gonna run back to the tower. These are all gonna drop down now. I'm gonna run back to the tower. There he is. It is possible for him to get inside here. Although, even if he does get in, yep, if he does especially can get in. But I can at least get up top and kind of get away from him if I need to take a breather. I can, if I want to, do a plunge attack on him. And then just like last time, he's going to leave once his health reaches a certain spot. Now I just got these other small ones to take care of. Which, you know, they can be a problem as well, especially if I'm not healed up. See this one acting kind of funny. There we go. But yeah, if you don't run back here, fighting them in that big open area, you're going to be surrounded by the big wolf and then these 4 or 5 little ones. And it is just a mess. So I would not recommend handling the encounter out there. Because you're getting attacked from every which way. I try to be smart and like shoot the other ones down, but I couldn't figure out how to reach them. If you guys have a way of doing it where you can trigger the little ones first, I'm all ears. Let me know in the comments if you know of a way. Okay, so we took care of that. The ground's going to break right here again. You see, even though that's a long drop, we take 0 damage from the fall, which is nice. Now we got to drop down here. Drop again. And one of these ledges is going to have an item on it. There we go. I get the soul item. And what we're going to do is there is a bonfire over here. We're going to light the bonfire, but not rest at it just yet. Because I don't want to respawn all the enemies. So go around here. We're going to light the bonfire. And if you don't have any flasks left, maybe resting at it's not such a horrible idea, but we got a few flasks. I don't want to respawn everything, so I'm just going to rest. Or I'm just going to light the bonfire and not rest. So now we're going to travel this way. Right here we got some black fire bombs. Take out the trees. Not sure if this one's an enemy or not. Nope. Got another frost breather over here. This one an enemy? No. A frost breather right here. Looks like this. Okay. So for now, we'll go in here into this rot-infested area. Got a couple flies. These guys can leech you. They can grab you. And if you get grabbed, you can get infected with the leeches, which means you'll need to use a torch to get them off. And here we get the frozen weapon spell. This will coat your weapon in frost so you can frostbite enemies. Can be quite useful. And this spell is not needed for the Platinum Trophy. As I said before in the previous episode, none of the rings or spells in the DLC count towards the Platinum. So you can still get the Platinum without playing the DLC. Got a couple of ember trees here. And these ones, they shoot the embers at you. You see, it does a lot of damage. So they can be quite deadly if you're not careful. And you see that frost that the frost trees blow covers a pretty wide distance. I was far away from this thing, but it reached pretty far. Then we got an item here, large shard, and some more trees over here. And this loops back around to the first area. So you can technically come over here. We went all the way down there to the tower and looped around. But you technically from the first area, it can come up here first. I just wanted to show you how it all connects. So now we're going to go back to the bonfire and proceed across the bridge that was nearby. There's our bonfire. You can rest at it now because we're not going to backtrack to that first area any longer. Doesn't matter if those enemies respawn. And I will point out there's a ladder right here. If you descend the ladder now, you're actually going to skip a decent chunk of the DLC, including one of the bosses. So we're not going to descend that ladder. I will show you later where the path that we're going to take wraps around to that ladder. But for now, we're going across the bridge. Got a bunch of, they're not hostile. You can technically click onto them. They're not hostile, so I'm not going to mess with them. Got an NPC right there. We're going to talk to him in just a sec. But first, we're going to loop around here, get ourselves a hollow gem. And now we'll have a little chat with the NPC.
Well, well. You're Lady Uria's Lord of Hollows. No bell tolls. And yet, you've slipped into the painting. Oh, no matter. If you've lost your way, the words of Lady Friede will guide you. Now, go on inside, show respect, and listen carefully. What's keeping you? Show respect.
So you mentioned you called us the Lord of Hollows. It's because we have been following that quest that actually does slightly change the dialogue here, if you've been following Uria's quest or not. That is Sir Wilhelm. Inside of here, we have another bonfire and another NPC. Over here, you'll notice there's a ladder. There's really nothing to this now. We'll go up it later. There's going to be an NPC up there later. And let's have a chat.
Welcome to the painted world of Ariandel. I am Friede. I have long stood beside our blessed Father and the rest of the forlorn. But forlorn thou seemeth not, Lord of Hollows. I know not the missteps which led thee to this painted world. But thy duty is all, and thy duty lieth elsewhere. Return from whence thou camest. I presume it visible to thee, a meek and faded thing, but 'twill guide thee nonetheless. Ah yes, there is a thing thou shouldst by rights possess. A remembrance of this cold world, may it help thee bear thy duty.
All right, if you talk to her again, you get the chill bite ring.
Thou'st a place in that world, and that alone is cause to rejoice. Now, thou'st a place in that world.
So she seems to not want us here. This is Friede. She kind of presides over this world. And wants to keep everybody safe, I guess you could say. So anyways, we have the bonfire here. So let us go on and take this bonfire. We'll go back to Firelink. And we'll wrap things up. I don't even think from all of that, I don't even think we have enough for another level. We'll check though.
Ashen one, for the Lords of Link. Very well, then take.
We don't. We're about 10,000 shy.
Ashen one.
So we'll fix that real quick.
As for Link. Very well, then take.
Go on and put it into strength.
Ashen one.
And we also got the ashes here.
Gracious. Passing fine ash, let this. I only hope these are.
All right.
One.
And so that's going to do it for now. Next time we're going to continue on in the painted world, fight our first boss in this area, and go on from there. So anyways, appreciate y'all for following along, and we'll see you next time. Until then, take care, everybody.